You know the drill. Pizza on a Friday night, a hot dog at the ballpark, maybe a can of something mysterious hiding in the back of your pantry. You think you know these classic foods, right? Well, what if I told you one of the most iconic Italian dishes actually has a surprising American past? Or that the secret to another beloved food was a military invention? What if that fluffy, sweet treat you only get at the fair was invented by a dentist? Today, we're peeling back the wrapper on the foods you eat every week to uncover the shocking secrets and surprising histories hiding in plain sight. Seriously, you might want to take a seat, because what you're about to hear will make you look at your plate in a whole new way. Coming in at number 10, biscuits and gravy. You know what I'm talking about. Those fluffy, buttery biscuits just smothered in a thick, savory sausage gravy. It's a dish that feels like a warm hug, a true staple of American comfort food. You'd probably guess it was born in a cozy southern kitchen and passed down for generations. You're partly right, but its real origins are a lot more rugged and humble than you'd think. The truth is, biscuits and gravy didn't start in some stately plantation home. It actually popped up as a regional dish right after the American Revolutionary War, when food and money were tight. Many food historians trace its specific beginnings to the lumber camps of southern Appalachia in the late 1800s. It was first called sawmill gravy because it was the perfect, cheap, high-calorie meal to fuel workers lifting heavy logs all day. The first biscuits weren't the soft, flaky pillows we know today. They were hard, tough things. The gravy, often made with just pan drippings, flour, and milk or water, was there to make them edible. This was survival food, born from pure necessity and resourcefulness to feed the working poor. For our number 9 spot, let's talk about that glorious, over-the-top brunch sandwich, the Monte Cristo. It's a decadent stack of ham, turkey, and Swiss cheese, slapped between slices of bread, dipped in egg batter, and fried until it's golden brown. Then, it's often hit with a dusting of powdered sugar and served with jam. It's that perfect mix of sweet and savory that feels so bold and so American. And it is American, but it's really just a remix of a French classic. The Monte Cristo is a direct descendant of the croque monsieur, a staple you'd find in any French bistro. The American version just took that idea and cranked it up to 11. While its exact origin is a little fuzzy, some say San Diego in the 1940s, it really blew up nationally after it was featured at the Blue Bayou restaurant in Disneyland in the 1960s. I guess it makes sense that a sandwich this magical has a connection to the most magical place on earth. The name itself is thought to be a nod to the French novel, The Count of Monte Cristo, linking its fancy French roots to its wild American evolution. Flying in at number 8 is the official food of game day, buffalo wings. They're spicy, they're tangy, and they're dangerously addictive. These deep-fried chicken wings, tossed in that classic cayenne pepper hot sauce, are the foundation of American bar food. Just to give you an idea of how obsessed we are, Americans ate an estimated 1.45 billion Sauce wings during the 2024 Super Bowl weekend alone. That's not just a fun fact. It shows how huge a simple dish has become, a dish that was invented almost by accident in Buffalo, New York, back in the 1960s. The story usually goes that the Anchor Bar got a wrong delivery of chicken wings, and the owners had to improvise. From that one lucky mistake, a nationwide obsession was born, forever linking chicken wings to sports, friends, and a whole lot of blue cheese dressing. At number 7, we've got the foundation of every perfect grilled cheese and cheeseburger, American cheese. Yep, those flawless individually wrapped slices that melt into a creamy, gooey dream. Now, some food snobs might look down on it, saying it's more like plastic than cheese, but its invention was actually a revolutionary moment in food science. It wasn't just cheese, it was a masterpiece of modern engineering. Processed American cheese was created in the early 1900s, not for its flavor, but for its amazing convenience and consistency. After Swiss chemists figured out how to make cheese last longer in 1911, it was James L. Kraft who perfected and patented the process here in the US in 1916. His goal was simple: create a cheese that wouldn't spoil, could be shipped across the country, and most importantly, melted perfectly every single time without getting oily or separating. He did it by heating cheese scraps and adding emulsifying salts, which gave it that signature creamy texture. So next time you peel that plastic off a slice, just remember, you're not just holding cheese, you're holding a piece of 20th century innovation made for a nation that was falling in love with convenience. Sliding into the number 6 spot is that iconic blue you can recognize anywhere, Spam. For some of us, it's a pantry punchline. For others, it's a beloved staple. This canned pork product, introduced by Hormel way back in 1937, has a history that's tied up with the American military and global culture. Spam really had its moment during World War II. It was a cheap, shelf-stable protein that could be shipped all over the world to feed Allied troops. Over 150 million pounds of it were used by the military during the war. Its presence was especially huge in the Pacific, and that's where the story gets really interesting. In Hawaii, the local fishing industry, which was dominated by Japanese Americans, faced heavy restrictions, making Spam a critical source of food. And it didn't just become a substitute, it became an absolute star. Today, Hawaii has the highest consumption of Spam per person in the US, with locals eating around 7 million cans a year. It's the key ingredient in dishes like Spam musubi, a slice of fried Spam on rice, all wrapped in seaweed, and has been totally woven into the state's culture, transforming from a simple military ration into a celebrated local delicacy. Alright, we're halfway through our list, and the facts are only getting weirder from here. If you're learning something new and enjoying this little trip through food history, do us a solid and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on even more mind-blowing stories. Okay, on to number 5. What do you call those crispy golden sticks of potato that go with pretty much everything? French fries, right? I mean, it's right there in the name. They have to be French. But what if I told you that name might be one of the biggest lies in the food world? Despite the name, there's a huge debate, and many historians argue that French fries are actually Belgian. One popular story goes that back in the late 1600s, poor villagers in the Meuse Valley in Belgium used to fry up tiny fish they caught in the river. One winter, when the river froze over, they supposedly cut potatoes into the shape of little fish and fried those instead. But hold on. Other food historians, including one from Belgium, swear that fries were born on the streets of Paris in the late 18th century. There's even a story of a musician who learned how to make them in Paris and brought the recipe to Belgium in 1844, selling Paris-style fried potatoes. So, while Belgium may have perfected the fry and made it their national dish, the idea might just be French after all. The debate is still raging. Our number 4 fact is a real head-scratcher that comes in a glass. Let's talk about the classic New York egg cream. If you've never had one, it's a fizzy, frothy, chocolatey drink from old-school soda fountains that's pure nostalgia. Now, based on the name, you'd expect it to have 2 main ingredients, eggs and cream. Well, here's the unbelievable part. The classic egg cream has neither egg nor cream. Not a single drop. This iconic New York City treat is made with just 3 simple things: milk, chocolate syrup, and seltzer. So where on earth did that totally misleading name come from? There are a few theories. One popular story says it was invented by a Brooklyn candy shop owner named Louis Oster in the early 1900s, but even his original version didn't have the 2 ingredients in its name. Some think the name is a botched version of the Yiddish phrase echt kim, which means pure sweetness. Another theory is that the frothy head on top just looks a bit like beaten egg whites. A wilder story suggests that the original recipes did have egg and cream back in the 1800s as a sort of health drink, but those expensive ingredients were dropped during the Great Depression and the name just stuck. For our number 3 spot, we're diving into something a little fishy. When you go to a store to buy salmon, you look for that rich, vibrant, pinkish red color, don't you? That color tells you it's a quality, healthy, wild fish. At least, that's what we've all been trained to think. Here's the shocking reality. A huge amount of the salmon sold in the US is farm-raised, and its flesh is naturally adult, unappetizing gray. That beautiful pink color you see is completely artificial. Wild salmon get their color naturally because they eat krill and shrimp, which are full of a reddish-orange compound called astaxanthin. Since farmed salmon are fed a kibble made of stuff like fish meal, corn, and soy, they miss out on that natural pigment. So, to give us the pink color we expect, salmon farmers add a synthetic version of astaxanthin to the fish feed to literally dye their flesh. The companies that make the dye even give farmers a color wheel, like the paint swatches at a hardware store, to let them choose the exact shade of pink they want for their fish. Without it, one study found that the grey salmon would probably be difficult to sell at any price. Squeezing in at number 2 is a fact about the undisputed king of condiments, the sauce that's in 97% of American fridges: ketchup. That thick, sweet, tangy red sauce seems like the most American thing ever. It's the lifeblood of burgers and fries. You probably assume it was invented in America, with tomatoes as the star from day one. Okay, this might actually break your brain a little. The original ketchup was a fermented fish sauce from Southeast Asia. Yep. The earliest version we know of dates back to China as early as 544 AD and was called ketchup or something similar. It was a sauce made from pickled fish and spices. British sailors ran into this pungent sauce in the 1700s, loved it, and brought the idea back home with them. But since they didn't have the same ingredients, British cooks started improvising, making ketchups out of things like mushrooms, walnuts, oysters, and anchovies. Tomatoes didn't even show up until much later, with one of the first tomato-based ketchup recipes appearing in America in 1812. So next time you dip a fry, just remember that your favorite tomato sauce started its life as a salty, fermented fish condiment. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The number one most surprising, unbelievable, and downright bizarre fact about your favorite foods. This one is about that fluffy, impossibly sweet, melt-in-your-mouth cloud of spun sugar you can only get at fairs and circuses, cotton candy. It's pure sugar, the kind of treat that seems like the sworn enemy of dental health. So, who do you think invented it? A candy maker? A carnival worker? Nope. Try a dentist. Yes, you heard me right. Cotton candy was co-invented and patented back in 1897 by a dentist from Nashville, Tennessee named William Morrison. He teamed up with a local candy maker, John C. Wharton, to build an electric candy machine that melted sugar and spun it through a tiny screen to create what they first called fairy floss. They introduced it to the world at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, and it was a smash hit, selling over 68,000 boxes. As if that isn't ironic enough, the name cotton candy was made popular in the 1920s by another dentist, Joseph Lascaux. So, the one treat most likely to send you to the dentist was actually brought to us by two of them. You really can't make this stuff up. So, from fish sauce that became ketchup to a dentist's sugary creation, it's pretty clear our favorite foods have some wild backstories. These dishes aren't just meals, they carry stories of war, innovation, migration, and pure, dumb luck. They prove how creative people can be, turning simple ingredients, or even military rations, into cultural icons. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Did you know your salmon was getting a paint job, or that your egg cream was basically lying to you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear which one blew your mind. And if you had fun uncovering these delicious secrets, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos for more unbelievable stories. Thanks for watching.